Assalamu alaikum and good evening. You're watching Community Champions with me, Zakir Khan. This is a new show, a very fresh show on community organizations, and we're going to be looking at how a community organization makes a difference in their local community. Now, before we start the show, I just want to say that our thoughts and prayers are with the families of Philippines and the disaster that's taken place last 10 days ago. Obviously, it's a natural disaster that we can't actually do anything about, but what we can do as a community is come together and support and show our solidarity for the human race. And I believe the British community have already raised over £30 million for this cause, and I think we as a community of Tower Hamlets, East London, can also come together and contribute towards that, because it's happened to Philippines this time, could happen to us anytime. So we all need to come together and support for this great cause. Now, as I said, this is the Community Champions program. We are here to talk about the good work our community organizations do in their local community. Now, before I introduce my guest, I'm going to ask for you to have a look at a very short clip of the organization that we're going to be discussing tonight. And once we've seen the clip, we'll come back and I'll introduce you to my guest. So let's watch the clip first.
স্প্লাশ ইস্ট লন্ডনের পপুলারের একটি জনপ্রিয় স্বেচ্ছাসেবী সংগঠন। 1988 সালের প্রতিষ্ঠার পর থেকে নিরলসভাবে কাজ করে যাচ্ছে এই সংগঠনটি। জাতি, ধর্ম, বর্ণ, বয়স নির্বিশেষে সবার জন্য কাজ করে প্রতিষ্ঠানটি। তাদের সেবা গ্রহণকারীদের মাঝে রয়েছেন উইমেন 40%, মেন 10%, ইউথ 30%, চিলড্রেন 12%, এল্ডারলি পিপল 4% এবং ডিসেবলড পিপল 4%। নিবেদিত প্রাণ সমাজসেবী সিস্টার ক্রিস্টিন ফ্রস্টের দক্ষ নেতৃত্বে স্প্লাশ কমিউনিটির উন্নয়নে ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ, সিটিজেনশিপ, সুইং, স্মোকিং সেসেশন, স্টাডি সাপোর্ট, ক্রিয়েটিভ প্লে, ইউথ ক্লাবস, কালচারাল সেলিব্রেশনস, হেলদি লিভিং এবং লোকাল হিস্ট্রি সহ নানা বিষয়ে অসংখ্য প্রকল্প সফলতার সাথে বাস্তবায়ন করে আসছে। দর্শক, আমাদের আজকের কমিউনিটি চ্যাম্পিয়ন স্প্লাশ, আসুন জানি তাদের সম্পর্কে আরো বিস্তারিত।
Now, that was an introduction to the organization we're talking about tonight, which I think was mentioned in the documentary, which is Splash. And now it gives me great privilege to introduce my guest tonight. I'll start from my far right, Nazma Begum. Hi, Nazma.
Hello, Zach.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
And next to Nazma, we have Sister Christine Frost, who a very well-known member of our communities. Welcome, Sister, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very
good.
I'll come back to you in a second. Let me introduce the other two guests on my left. From my far left, we have Muna. Hello, Muna.
Oh, hello, Zach. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You okay?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come and talk to you tonight.
You're welcome. And last but no means least, we have Azizun Zara.
Hello, Zach.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Right, ladies. Actually, it's all ladies, yeah. So I'll be coming to you very soon. I'm going to start with the sister. Now, sister, the Splash organization, if you could tell us briefly when it was established and why it was established. Why was it necessary to establish an organization in Poplar?
Well, we began in 1988, and it was just when the London Dockland Development Corporation was beginning and they were coming into the area. And it was also the time when they were making the neighbourhoods. And our address is Poplar High Street. We stand between East India Dock Road and the docks. And yet we suddenly found ourselves part of the island neighbourhood. So we went down to the island to get some redress or get something for our future. And we found, oh, no, you're not islanders. Go back to Poplar. So when we went to Poplar, they said, sorry, but you now belong to the island, and all our signposts were red, etc. So we realized unless we came together, we were going to get nothing from the whole development. There would be no trickle down, there would be no benefit really to the community, to the local indigenous community.
And that's how Splash was?
That's how Splash began. That's the reason for our beginning.
Was this a community?
It was a community coming together from 6 different estates. And we just were victims of noise, of dust, of pollution. I mean, when we look back now at the pictures, it's incredible when you think we were the largest building site in Europe.
Yeah.
You had the Limehouse Link being built, you had the Red Road being built, you had the Docklands Light Railway. We lost 500 homes.
Wow.
And that's huge in an area where you needed that low income homes, the low rent. So they went, and they went forever.
Okay. Now, obviously, the distractions were a major reasons for you to come together and set this organization up. But at the same time, since you established, you actually started to develop and, started new projects, new initiatives for the local community. And if you want to tell us quickly some of the projects that you're running.
We began by being a campaign group, but you can't remain like that. I mean,
Absolutely.
we stopped roads, we stopped traffic, we just tried to make people aware of the state we were in. And then we developed into youth work, community work, artwork. Art has been a major part of what we've done over the years, because that brings people together whether you speak English or not. It's without language. Art is a great unifier. So we've really, I mean, our major thing has been around our little strapline, which is it takes a community to grow a child.
Absolutely.
And that's really what we're about, is about community building.
Okay. Now I'm going to come to Nazma now. Now you are a very active individual in Splash. I've known you for a few years now, working for Splash. Now you have, every time I've met you, your passion, your desire, doesn't seem to amaze me, because you're always wanting to do something for the community. Now, what is your main role in Splash?
My main role at the moment in Splash is employment officer. But as Sister has given me the opportunity 3 years ago to achieve everything that I desired, and the skills that I've had, only Sister Christine actually acknowledged it. And she thought, I'll give her the chance to make changes. So I started off as an outreach worker, and now I'm an employment officer for Splash, running a workshop every Thursday, which is called SAFE. And if you break it down, it covers Splash Action for Employment.
Splash Action for Employment, SAFE. Okay.
SAFE. So it runs from 10:30 to 12:30. And within my session, it's not only me that's working by myself, because I do know when you have a session with 5 or 6 kids involved, one person can't help everyone.
No.
You'd probably be helping one person and leaving out another person. So we have like volunteers, career advisor, national career advisor that comes in every Thursday. I've got networking with Skill Match and other agencies where I get people into jobs that suit them, jobs that they are passionate about. Because I don't want to persuade someone to do a job that they're not interested in. Because in the future, give them 1 year, they'll be out of the job. Because the passion won't show. So I'm trying to encourage kids to go for the right job or do voluntary work just to see if they like it.
Okay. Now, that's the employment side. But you're also involved in other projects like the ESOL classes.
We have activities running. Monday, we have men's ESOL. And on Friday, we have women's ESOL and women's IT. And that's all combined to help them to move forward.
And how are they operated? Do you bring in people from outside to teach the...
Yes.
Yeah.
For example, if we don't have funding to apply for, we would try other means where we get volunteers. So my approach is to go and find a tutor that is studying in university to be a teacher. So actually can come into the community centre and get involved and teach. Okay. But not everyone wants to do it. So,
I know.
So you have to find a person that is passionate, that will do it for free. So we have a teacher that comes from a school across the road, just for 1 hour, and she's doing this out of her lunch break.
Really?
Just out of her lunch break.
Wow. I think we were expecting her to know, wasn't we? Unfortunately, she's not here. So I'll come back to you in a second.
Thank you.
Now, Muna, tell us what is your involvement? How are you associated with Splash?
I involved with Splash, I think, past 15 years now. And the reason why I involved was as a Somali person, which is in the area. I didn't see many of them who is engaging the rest of the community. That's one thing who pushed me to go through and break this barrier and involve with Splash. And that's where I feel comfortable with myself and my children. And past 15 years, I was moving every day, and since now I am one of the committed. I'm the vice chair in Splash.
The vice chair of Splash?
Yeah.
That's a great achievement.
I'm really pleased with all the hard work sister doing, but us as well who is involved in, then yeah, that's one of the reasons I was involved with Splash.
And I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, that she's also a national award winner, sister.
Yeah, Tenant of the Year.
Tenant of the Year, national award.
2013.
Well, I mean, what does that? I mean, how does that make you feel, being the Tenant of the Year?
It was really shocking first, because what I was doing is, I thought it's something I'm doing in the community. It wasn't something I was feel like to get name on it.
Mm-hmm.
But coming from Gateway, which is my housing association, and Sister Christine, they wrote to people who deal with that kind of things.
You got nominated?
Yes, I was nominated in London first, the South region, and then after that was national one.
That's fantastic. That's a great achievement. That is absolutely well done.
Alhamdulillah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, moving swiftly on to Azizun. Azizun Zara, tell us how and why you got involved with Splash.
I got involved with Splash a long time ago because it was through exercise, coming to Warmore School. That's where it started off, and then Robin Hood Gardens, doing volunteering, leafleting for Splash with the sister neighbours in Poplar. So I'm involved in both of the organisations.
How long have you been involved?
With Splash? Oh God, it's been such a long. It's 2002. So
2002. Wow.
So it's such a long time. Yeah.
So everyone that gets involved with Splash, I actually not there for a long time, really.
Yeah.
I think that demonstrates. Well, I think it demonstrates, why and how people like to be involved in this kind of organisation. The one thing I really like about Splash, and I'm going to be very open here and live telly, is the mix, the diverse community that Splash has, which is so encouraging to see. And for example, someone like Muna from the Somali community. Now, this is something I've been trying to work on for many years, that I want to bring the community together. I don't want people to have their own organizations and saying this is just us, this is you. We should all be together, sister. How important is that?
That's what I mean. What we